All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. So I wanted to talk about a little bit more on Oscar Health's potential. I feel like I kind of just yapped in the last video. I didn't really say much about why I think it's a good stock, but I wanted to kind of dive deeper into it and kind of do a little bit of comparisons to other stocks. For example, the biggest healthcare or health insurance stock, United Health Group, which for the most part is probably the biggest one in terms of probably revenue, 371 billion, versus Oscars, which is 5 billion, not 500 billion, maybe soon. So in comparison, obviously, monster company, it's been around since 1977. Obviously, it's been almost 50 years now. And then Oscar Health, been around for 13 years. So quite a difference in terms of how long they've been around. But the reason why I think, again, this company will probably do well over the long term is as their revenue continues to grow. As we can see, they're up 42%. As their revenue continues to grow, right? Like if Oscar Health is, let's say, 30 billion in revenue, which I don't see that being something out of the picture. Like I don't see this company not being able to 10x their revenue over a long-term horizon. The stock itself is going to go up. Very simple. Like as the company's revenue grows, the stock is going to go up. Like we talked about in the last video, this stock being more sort of AI centric, the founder, Josh Kushner, all of his investments, majority of his investments, whether it's Stripe, Snapchat, Instagram, OpenAI, I think he's in SpaceX as well with Thrive Capital. This guy takes a very long-term approach for 100% of the companies he invests in. And I think the same thing will happen to the same company that he started, right? So it's kind of like the same thing where if you look at a founder like Elon Musk, he runs probably 7 different billion-dollar companies. I think a lot of people invest into Tesla because they're like, well, there's no way Tesla can go under because he has 7 different billion-dollar companies. Like, this guy doesn't miss. And I know that's kind of a stupid analogy. It's not a stupid analogy, but I know that's kind of like an interesting analogy for the way I guess I would look at this is like, this guy does not miss unless he gets rid of this as a whole, which he wouldn't. A company like this, healthcare, which 95% of the U.S. population needs to have, the market itself is massive. It's a massive thing. Now, looking at, obviously, this is just one example of a healthcare company that I was talking about. Insane revenue, right? Insane revenue. All it takes is for these guys to increase their revenue year over year, just make more money, get more customers for their health insurance, and the stock grows. Now, do I think, like right now, the stock, you could say, is a little bit overpriced? Yes. Do I think a lot of people see this being a stock, going up to $80 or $100 over the long term? Yes. Like I think a lot of people think that. That's why people are buying it. Me personally, I think for a stock like this, I'm probably going to hold off just for a little bit buying any more. I think it probably will dip down to 15. It really has a lot of fluctuations, up and down, up and down. And if you also look into the hedge funds that own the stock, it's primarily people that are in the healthcare space, have had a lot of successful healthcare, or a lot of successful investments in healthcare. And also, surprisingly, Michael Burry, the one who predicted the 09 drop, is also invested, which I don't know why, but it seems like he has a decent investment in this stock. So very simple. it's not something I would like buy and sell, day trade. It's something I think in the long term, with it being a massive market, healthcare, solid founder, Josh Kushner. If you read into him, like if you just go and buy a few of those like articles where you have to pay like to actually like listen to the interviews of him, the written interviews, this guy's very long term focused. Like he's not an in and out sort of guy. All of his investments have pretty much hit. His net worth, aside from the company he started, is high because of all the investments he's made in his VC company, Thrive Capital. So I think overall, with it being a, solid led company, massive market, and AI centric, which is literally where the rest of the world is heading, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good stock for the long term. I think it probably will have some dips involved with it, but that honestly shouldn't matter if you're holding it for over 3, 4, 5 years. So yeah, I hope that answers some of your guys' questions as to why I think it's a pretty decent stock. Obviously you could invest into the Teslas and the Nvidias and whatnot, but keep in mind, obviously you could say those are safer, but a lot of those companies have to significantly increase their revenue for you to make money on the stock. Like it's as simple as that. Tesla has to make sure, the robo-taxis and the humanoids or whatever they call them go right? Because that's the only way their stock is going to go up. Do I think they're going to 10x? Probably not. Like I don't think Tesla is going to go from 350 right now to 3,500. Do I think a stock like this could 10x with it being at 5 billion in revenue? Probably, right? Like I probably can 10x because we look at other companies in the health insurance space. They're doing almost 100 times more than that. So like there's a lot of room to grow. It's still pretty early in my opinion. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of room to grow. Other big companies, I'm sure there's room to grow, but they need to grow a lot. If Tesla's a $1 trillion company, if Nvidia and all these other companies are $1 trillion companies, for them to 10x or for them to 5x, that's a lot. Like that's a lot of growth, which I don't doubt. I definitely don't doubt, but it's just a significant amount of growth. So keep that in mind. But again, I could be wrong with everything I'm saying. If I'm wrong, feel free to bash me in the comments and explain to me why I'm wrong. I'd love to hear anyone's opinion on that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye.